10, 9, 8, 7.
Welcome to a special episode of the Wicked Theory Podcast, where we're talking The Walking Dead.
Howdy.
Yeah, it's the voice of my buddy Tom Torrey. In a mere moment, you'll hear Jay.
I'm fucking here, baby.
There he is. There he is.
Uncle Jay's in the house.
With whiskey in tow.
Oh boy. Whew. Let me just knock my headphones.
So we're
down
going to
a
talk
little
some
bit.
Walking Dead here, right?
We're gonna talk some Walking Dead.
So season 8 just premiered this past Sunday.
That's right. It's returned. We're here to break it down.
Well, no, we're not going to really break it down.
Not hard. Not in a hard way. Not like when we
Not
do.
like our other show.
Not like Preacher versus Preacher. I don't have the minutes, the minute by minutes.
Fuck that shit.
Well, we'll probably before we're done, we'll probably end up talking about where the series is, where we think it's going. Everybody all right?
Yeah,
Bill.
I'm all right.
Got a hairball?
Bill, hey, talking to the mic.
Okay, I wasn't talking into it.
A little bourbon down the pipe.
was
Wrong
over here.
pipe.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff. We'll play it a little loose.
Carl. Overall,
Carl's dead, and I feel good about it. No, imagine that you end up saying that one day, like, oh man, that Carl turned out to be a real dick.
I hope so.
I hope so. Imagine. I don't know. Where to really to begin?
Well, season 8 premiered
Season 8 premiered
Sunday night.
Sunday night. Story felt like it picked up pretty much.
Yeah, it was a good episode. I really enjoyed the episode.
Yeah, the episode. We'll do that. The episode was really good.
I really thought it was great. Anytime Greg Nicotero steps into the plate as director of an episode, you know it's going to be pretty damn good to fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
And
yeah, he does good
this was a
things.
pretty damn good episode, I thought.
I didn't know he directed it, but that's cool.
Where's the doc for this episode, Bill?
So in the regular episode, Doc, I just kind of put some notes right at the top.
We're winging it.
All right, cool.
We're winging it. No official document. There you are.
No,
I
but
see
I-
you logged in now. Nice.
I didn't even know there was a...
Yeah, there's a little bit. It's just like
We
a list
did
of
some
points.
planning for this.
Some mild. There's a list of
As
talking
in,
points.
we as in Bill.
You know,
Oh, I see. Okay.
specific to the
I'm
episode.
looking at it right now.
But so what I think was interesting was that even though it picked up kind of like in this nebulous amount of time after the wrap up from last season, it doesn't feel like it's been long. Like it feels like they've pretty much just hatched a plan, and that's this today they're doing it. Like it doesn't feel like it's like one of these times like sometimes in between seasons on the show they intentionally want you to feel like 6 months has passed, or you know what I mean, this kind
Right.
of thing. This feels
Right.
like it's like maybe it's like a couple of weeks or
Yeah.
whatever from last year's finale. that kind of
I
thing.
thought I was thinking that it might have been around maybe 3 to 4 months later, or maybe even a month later, because Michonne got her ass beat at the season finale of the
That's
last
true.
episode. I mean, there was I don't know if you remember, one of the junk people and her were on the tower, and they were
Right.
fighting each other, and it was a really brutal fight.
Okay.
And then the junk person falls off dead, but her eye was like swollen. She looked like Rocky in Rocky 3
Nice.
with the swollen shut eye.
Right. Fair enough.
And,
yeah. So she was all kind of healed
She
up
was
from that.
healed up. You know, the baby looks a little bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Carl's hair got a little longer.
He needs to just pin that back so he can see what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
I don't know.
I think it's a sideburn that went awry.
All I know is it's taking a left. His hair is taking a left.
But yeah, I mean, so I'm thinking that it's a couple of months after from last season, and then Rick stepping up to the fucking plate again, man.
Yeah,
Which was good to see.
President Rick.
President Rick.
2020.
I actually like the strategic planning of how he got there too. You know, with help from Dwight, said he was going to
Right.
help them with the notes. You know, going across via crossbow.
Crossbowgrams.
Programs.
But yeah, it was kind of a cool thing where they were doing that thing that what I do like when they do is like they keep you a little bit in the dark. You got to watch as it goes along to get what's going on, Like, you have to see the plan unfold. They don't do the thing where, like, we're going to tell you, the audience, what the plan is. Like, and then I guess when they usually do that, it's so that you know what's going on, so that you know when it goes wrong. And this is one of those times where the plan worked, like the plan was successful. Like, so to have would ruin any kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I could see what that is then.
I think it was also.
I answered my own question then a little bit.
Yes, you did.
I thought it was also
That's why
cool,
I had to
story-wise, because now you know how Negan knows a lot. You know what I mean? How his lookouts are placed in certain areas, and how he knows people are coming near him,
right,
and whatnot. You know what I mean? So.
And they also have what's his name?
Dwight.
No, not Dwight. That's who we're talking about now, right?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Well,
yes.
Dwight exploited his.
Who's the chubby dude? His name is
Eugene.
Eugene. Yeah, his name was escaping me. So.
Yeah.
But they also have him, who might know some intel about like Rick and the gangs, like
Yeah, it is a question of how much
strategies.
How much is Eugene? Or now maybe after this, Eugene will get hard pressed to give up any info that he's got, because I think Negan was kind of giving him a soft hand as far as that went a little bit.
Well, Negan knows where everybody is.
Yeah,
too,
don't get me wrong.
I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of like out of the bag, right? I mean, he did go there just to shave, basically, and cut somebody in half, I think.
Make spaghetti.
Yeah, make some pasta and babysit.
But he knew enough that Rick went to the junk people, and then he went back over there and made a fucking deal. So you have this, you get the idea that he's everywhere.
Yeah,
he's got people everywhere.
He's had these people out, and as much as they're lookouts, you got to figure that he's got scouts too. He's got other guys doing like recon stuff.
And now they're taking, a lot of his, ammo away.
I think it's also possible though that the trash lady in chief, because that's what I'm calling her, is like probably told Negan that Rick was there, because she was talking for Negan, right, last season? I forgot.
Yeah, I think in the end with her, she had done the double cross on Rick.
Right. But I'm saying, like,
because she's working for Negan, so I would assume that she would tell him that Rick popped up there, as I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But it could have also been that there's somebody over there.
Of course. There. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Here's the thing that
I was
comes
just making an extra side.
But even though
wasn't trying to like dispute what you were trying to say.
Even though we got,
I don't think we know for sure really what the fuck happened.
Yeah,
no,
this doesn't get fully laid out.
No.
But one of the things we can say from this is that like Negan really wasn't ready. Like Rick really kind of, even though he took out the scouts, they kind of just rolled the fuck in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when they started coming in, I was like, oh, they're on the compound. Like I didn't even think they were on the compound right then because they had no resistance.
They
like,
quote unquote took out the scouts as in two guys.
Yeah, well,
like,
I mean that list that like he was going down one by one. That's all these different scout spots.
Okay, that's true.
And I get that.
Yeah. Oh, Daryl was going around too.
And
with
then
the fucking,
reason for
that was pretty dope.
And it was pretty dope. And the reason for some of that wasn't just the zombies. It was for them to send out guys on the road.
Yeah.
And the lieutenants that they referenced later on. Oh, you sent out your lieutenants. We got you to put them out. So I guess that's why there's nobody at the gate.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's kind of crazy to not have anybody at the gate.
Well, I think because, I mean...
Well, maybe Rick and them seen them rolling up and pulled everybody inside.
Right, well, they did send a posse out.
Right.
Because a huge explosion happened near their
and you see
sanctuary.
That.
And the guys weren't checking in on the radios.
But not only that, but the fact is that nobody comes, within 100 feet of the sanctuary.
Right.
So if a fucking huge explosion happens, he sends a big posse out there.
I get you.
To go and see it, and they're all gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So he's kind of crippled at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's cool because now the odds are even a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's going to be on for Dwight after this too, because it's going to have to become obvious that like somebody was helping out.
Yeah.
And Dwight's not going to be able to cover, I think, his involvement perfectly. Like I can't imagine that it would. Like he's the guy on the radio, and like you didn't like.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to. I don't think it's going to add up. Like I mean, just dramatically speaking. Like I think they'll find a way for him to kind of get exposed a little bit, or have to at least deflect Negan's questioning.
Do we remember how we get the reveal that Dwight was working with Rick or switches sides? Does it happen like in an act of war? I think so, right? He shoots someone. I think that's what happens. Or is this how it plays out in the book?
I don't remember. Actually.
Does he like help them do a few different covert?
I think there is a point like you like with him shooting a guy who's
Yeah.
on the other side, who's on his
I vaguely
on the
remember that,
Saviors, and
yes.
that's like a big turning point for him where it becomes definitive.
Right.
But I don't exactly recall.
We don't remember for sure.
Yeah,
And that's it.
That's it.
Email us, folks,
Yeah.
at podcast at wickedtheory.com.
There you go.
My big thing, I think that Gabriel might give up Dwight in the
He could get pressured
in the
too.
trailer there.
Yeah,
Because they're
who
not
knows
getting out
what
of there anytime soon.
Yeah, who knows what he's going to say? You know, because that's the big ending right there.
Because I think that's what's going to happen. He's going to try to get information out of him. How the fuck did Rick do this? How the fuck did
Yeah.
Who the fuck said something?
Yeah.
Or
No,
whatnot.
he's definitely going to be looking for retribution based off that.
So
yeah.
so it's probably going to be a huge, big interrogation thing.
Now,
and they're going to be in there for a little while.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Can I be a picky little fuck for a little bit about
Sure,
this episode?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So the scene when Rick is
Wrong.
the scene when Rick is counting down to Negan that they're going to start firing.
I just opened up the episode with that.
Was it just me? Yes, you did. Was it just me, or did it seem like Andrew Lincoln wasn't acting right in that scene, or was I just interpreting it wrong? Because it felt to me like he just wasn't playing the right Rick. Like his accent was a little off to me. I don't know.
Well,
It just felt weird. Like it
might have
wasn't.
been-
It didn't feel like the same character that we've seen for 7 seasons.
I'll tell you exactly what I think now that I heard that, and I listened to it earlier, I watched it earlier to pull that clip, that it feels like a different take.
Yeah.
And like, so like, he's got one kind of thing going on right before he starts counting down.
Right.
And then he ramps it up.
Play it again.
That's exactly
Well,
what
I don't
it is.
have, well, I mean, I don't have it queued up like
When
that.
he
I
ramps
don't
it
have
up
queued
right there.
And I don't have the whole thing. I just have the drop.
Well,
Right?
after the show,
All right,
we'll find the
we'll
clip
watch
and
it.
We'll
and we'll
rewatch
show
it,
you, yeah.
okay?
I just thought it was balls out.
Oh, no, it's great. I loved it because the whole
No.
time.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I really didn't have a problem with it, but it just kind of pulled me out of it for a minute.
So let's go get into it a little bit in a little more organized fashion. So
Okay.
overall,
Organized.
well, I got the list. I mean, I don't know if it's organized, but
No, it was just
one of the things that we kind of do get a feel of pretty quickly is that this episode's got multiple timeline things going on.
Yep.
So we've got the present. We've got them doing these speeches that are kind of like right before they go to
Speechland and Dreamland.
Yeah, and then there's also 2 flash forwards. There's one where he wakes up in the bed. It's the one that's in the commercials. He's got the big beard now.
Old man Rick.
Reminiscent of Rick in the hospital in the first season.
Yeah. Doing all that same camera shot stuff. He's got the cane. Can't get around. Like, this is obviously, highly taken from the book.
Right. Yeah.
But there's also, and that's the one everybody's focusing on, and some people are overlooking the other one, because I talked to a couple people today, and they were like, oh, no, that's all the same thing. I'm like, no, man, they're pulling a Westworld on you. You don't realize you're watching a flash forward or a flashback until 5 episodes from now. But the thing where he's got the light in his eyes are all bloodshot. It's just like full close-up, and he's squinting, and he's obviously racked with some kind of issue. And the guy I was talking to, he thought it was cut in between the speech. So he was thinking that it's just Rick looking off into, off to the side in between him saying stuff. I'm like, it's not even the same place. I was like, I bet you if we went and rewatched, it's not even the same shirt. I bet you it's one of those things, but if you look at the clothes, you'll actually be able to follow the timelines a little better.
Right.
Because I think when he's standing over those 2 graves, that's an intercut thing. And the thing with the light in his eyes is supposed to kind of like maybe for some people not get picked up right away that it's like 6 episodes from now, or it's the end of the season. The stuff with Old Man Rick is like something maybe after next season, or whatever. It's a longer, the Old Man Rick with the beard is a longer con.
Yeah.
I feel like this thing with the light in the eyes is something that's going to happen maybe halfway through the season. He'll lose 2 people, or something big will happen. It'll make him question his whole game plan, because you got to do that to Rick, it seems, every couple episodes.
I think I'll make a strong prediction.
Go for it.
Early on.
Whoa, bold move.
Now that you're
bold
saying
move.
it, I think that Michonne might die this season.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, it's like,
Because who else can Rick lose? Like, I feel like Rick's not close enough with anybody else besides Daryl and Carl.
Yeah.
And Carol, maybe? Like, will
Yeah.
Carol die? I guess Carol could die.
Yeah.
I'd rather Carol die than Michonne, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're building up this relationship between Michonne and Rick right now.
Right.
That it's like, I don't know if it can last.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
well, that's the thing. The show is doing something kind of like when it comes down to like the lineup of people, like you can't really kind of follow the book
and it's not
anymore.
in the book, so exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's not in the book, so we can't really go.
Yeah.
Go off of
Andrea
that.
lived forever in the books, like you know what I mean.
Right.
Not Carol. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
It's a
Andrea
whole-
was-
And Rick's
yeah.
romantic relationship is with
Andrea.
Andrea instead
You
of
know,
Michonne.
Yeah, instead of anybody else, really. Like Rick.
Michonne's such a different character in the book.
Yeah.
I like her so much better in the book.
But
Yeah.
they did hook up in the book too.
Like I think.
I
like
don't think so.
Or maybe they kind of flirted
No,
or something.
I don't think so because Ezekiel and Michonne
in the comic.
are together in the comic.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think Rick did fuck her a couple times.
He knocked that back. once or
Yeah, I
twice?
think so.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
Maybe.
good. Oh,
Maybe.
I don't remember exactly. So
Maybe.
it's been a while since I
'Cause
read
the
like
book-
that part of the
You
book.
gotta remember too, in the book, the whole thing with the governor goes down different, and she closes herself off. There's much more of a sexual assault kind of vibe to everything that goes down with the governor in the comic.
Yeah.
You'll allow it?
No, I'm pretty sure they did.
Hey, man, you know what?
I think so.
maybe you know it's one of those things Kirkman did and doesn't go back and dwell on it because it's something that like he maybe thinks it's one of those
I'm
ideas.
gonna do an Ed real quick.
Yeah, do it.
Do a producer. Yeah, well, like I said,
Dear Google, did Rick ever bang Michonne in the comic before they got together?
Or they could. I mean, Rick is fucking.
He's Rick.
He's a fucking pimp.
You know,
He's got to bang more broads.
he's a badass.
come on, Ed. Pull up, fucking get the answers here.
Little,
So with
little
that-
Rick and Maggie might be a huge power fucking horse.
There was a point in this episode where they fucking. I was like, wow, that could have been a thing. I think maybe
Yeah.
he's a little older than her, but she's not looking like she's 21 anymore like
No.
she did when she first popped up on
She's
the show.
aged a ton.
She's got a little bit of weathering.
She's grizzled, man. I mean, not that
Yeah,
she's
she's got
old,
an edge.
but
She's got an edge. She's a badass now.
growing up, in
In
your
a hard
20s in that world.
If it's a hard knock life.
Yeah.
So those are the things that keep your eye on for the timeline stuff. I think people are kind of like, for the most part, because the one in the bathrobe is a pretty obvious timeline jump thing. But the whole thing with the light in the eyes and those two graves, we're going to be revisiting that too. And according to an interview I read with Gimple, and last night's, you can't glean anything from the Talking Dead when there's 65 people on stage.
Well, and they're so good at teasing the audience.
Yeah. I'm
Those
just saying
guys-
nothing. I'm saying nothing while saying something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
So at the very least, it seems like from Gimple's innuendos that like the flash forwards are going to kind of continue. Like we won't see them every episode,
Right.
but it won't just be like coming in and going out. It'll be like we'll revisit that supposedly.
Yeah.
And it'll become very obvious he said it gets pretty obvious what's actually going on
Okay.
about halfway through.
Like you said, episode 6.
Anyway,
Episode 6.
After that, it was hinted at, but it's never proven.
Okay,
in the
it's like
book.
some weird dialogue or something.
Yeah.
I guess like, remember that night in Vegas? We never went to Vegas.
No, she hooked up
I
with
call your
Tyrese.
vagina Vegas.
She hooked up with like Tyrese and Morgan and Ezekiel.
It's what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't remember any of the other guys. I just remember it being a thing between her and Ezekiel because spoilers when Ezekiel dies. I remember she's pretty devastated about it.
Yeah.
But
She basically leaves town,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean Ezekiel's gonna die, and
And that's a thing.
I
Like,
hope so though.
that's a fair point, too, in a way, where like the book changes things up enough
yeah,
where it almost feels like it's almost it's not quite a true spoiler anymore to say someone dies in the comics, because it's like if they do, when will it be the same circumstances? Will somebody
Right.
else die in the way that person did, and now that person's still alive on the show?
I think that's the all-out war between fans of the comic book and fans of the show.
yeah,
too,
it's
you know
like
what I mean?
oh, like some people are just like I really want it to be exactly, and it's not, and it's like well, then-
Exactly.
Then you would probably get bored actually.
Yeah.
If you had gotten that, like it's one thing to have a movie that's hard adapted.
Right.
Because that's like a 1.5 hour, 2 hour thing. But I think if you had a show that was hard adapted from a source material that you know and you loved,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you'd probably still nitpick it to fucking death. And then you'd be left with nothing but like costumes.
Like
and
Preacher versus Preacher?
Yeah, like Preacher versus Preacher. Jackass.
Yeah,
Dead
but,
versus Dead, baby.
Dead
yeah,
versus
but
dead.
that show is nothing like the source materials.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I read the first two books,
Yeah.
the two trades
On,
of Preacher.
A Preacher.
And I hadn't seen anything of the show, but I was told that
Go on. Yeah. But you've heard through the
It's different.
grapevine?
Yeah, I heard through the grapevine.
Through the grapevine of this
Being everybody
establishment.
at Wicked Theory.
So I really want to get into the Twizzlers.
Number
right.
2 on your list here.
Do you like Twizzlers? I like Twizzlers.
Twizzlers are all right. It's one of
You
those
don't
I
like
got to
'em?
be in like the
Not a
mood.
licorice guy.
Like black licorice, definitely not. The red ones, the cherry ones, or whatever that is, like not berry. I can hang with those. Like I got to be in the mood though.
I don't get
but
it.
I don't want to hear it. Those are some nasty ones. If they're like, how old are these things? How many do you have? Where are you getting them from?
I'll buy that. You know why? Because Twizzlers taste already like they're fucking 9 years old.
That's wow. That's a good point. Like you
I
wouldn't
love
know
Twizzlers, right?
if they were old
I'm
anyway.
not saying that to knock it. I mean,
No,
they
yeah,
taste
but-
like they're old.
Yeah, that's the thing. They got this weird, like, kind of stale taste, even if they're fresh.
Right.
There's this weird, like, aftertaste, right? A little chalky
Well,
kind
it's
of
the
thing.
candy nobody wants, so of course you're gonna find them all over the fucking place.
And that's true. That's true too. But yeah, I wanted them to. It looked like it was like fresh though. It had a little bit too much droop. I was like, that thing would be like a rock. That thing would be like a fucking.
Well, I
stick.
think she said on
Yeah.
Talking Dead that they
Oh.
were freeze dried or something to make them.
They left them out. They opened them
yeah.
up and left them out. I think
Yeah.
to firm them up. And
Yeah.
I've had Twizzlers that actually was sitting out. Like you open the pack and then like the next day you go get it and like half of it because that's the end by the whole opening is like, well, this is all jerked up now.
Yeah. Write
Good
your name
stuff.
in it.
Yeah.
Write
yeah.
your name with it on the fucking
They-
sidewalk. You got any red ink? No, I got a Twizzler here from '85.
So I wasn't gonna get hard on that, but I was just like I thought it was funny that the Twizzlers bothered me a little bit.
Tara chewing on the Twizzler.
But one of the big scenes is the Rick and Negan showdown basically at the front gate.
Excellently executed, I thought.
Yeah, I had some issues with it because I just felt like shoot him.
Yeah.
Shoot him.
Oh, that's but you need your drama.
Yeah, but I was almost like, I don't care. Take a shot at him and have him go back in the door and then talk to you with the door cracked open because that would be funny, interesting / real.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted Rick to lose his cool for a second. But, you know, in the end, also, too, I didn't know that the whole plan was to stall. There was a lot of stalling going on
Right.
there. I didn't realize that. But once it became like, yeah, but even if you're doing this whole big plan, I don't know, man. I think I would have, if I was Rick, I would have jumped the gun.
Just sprayed.
I would have sprayed all of them, taking out Gregory and fucking Eugene probably,
Yeah.
too, and just sprayed the whole lineup. And then, you know, yeah, still, we're bringing the zombies here because this place is still filled with assholes. And that's no problem. You know what I mean? But, and I did kind of like get into my head earlier today at work of this whole imaginary scene that happens where like he doesn't, like they don't open the door all the way and they're talking through the door. Like, you know what I mean? And it's this whole thing where like he's like all yelling out, like he's got to yell more because he's like further back inside, you know? And he's like, I ain't coming out, Rick. I ain't dumb, Rick. You know, like this kind of thing. And then they're having to talk this distance. And then when they shove Gregory out, it's like it's like a funnier bit, like, you know? And then I pictured in my head then Stephen Oog, the guy who plays Simon, like when it comes down time to shove him away, just like his leg comes out and just boots him hard in the hip and does like a hip shove down the stairs.
Well, again, you know, you have
That's
the
way
fact,
too preacher.
Yeah, it's too fun.
Again, of course, you have the fact that if you just do that, of course, you know,
Yeah, you don't get to
no
FaceTime.
show,
There's no
there's
FaceTime.
There's no drama.
You don't get to mug for the camera and do unbelievable shit. And that's my problem sometimes is that like I'd rather have a believable show.
But
than the
that's
shows-
me too.
Yeah, you know.
That's me too. I mean, a lot of the times, you know, when I have an argument with Ed about it, like a movie, it's because I didn't think maybe it wasn't realistic enough. Like I would have done it. Like believe me,
Yeah.
I was one of the people that when I heard Walking Dead was coming to AMC, I
Right.
was like, you can't put Walking Dead
Right.
on AMC.
Yeah.
That's got to be on HBO or something.
Yeah.
Who turned it down, by the way?
Yeah.
Assholes. It would have been.
It would have been so good.
I don't know. It would have been very different.
It would have been so good, I think. I mean, it's still so good.
You know what?
I
It
fucking
probably
love the
would have
show.
been really still so good. You know what? Because still the same people would have been involved from Jump Street on the production side. Still would have been Kirkman and Darabont.
And not much of a cap.
And you might have
You know,
gotten a closer Rick.
You know, might have gotten somebody else for Rick. You know,
Closer to the source material, I
you
think.
know what I mean?
Like even closer.
I wonder if we would have got Shane. Rick. All right. So speaking of the Gregory, that Gregory dude,
Yeah, he needs to die, man.
he's overdue for a death. But that's how he is in the book too. Like he's just as slimy. You want him to die just as bad. He's always kind of conniving. He's a weasel. Thinks he's got it over on everybody. I was glad that they did that whole scene where it's like, nah, man, no love in the casa for you. Like, we're done. Like, we're Dunskies.
Yeah.
We're breaking up, baby. And that they just fucking instantly dismiss him too. Like, Negan's like, well, I got no use for you at all then later.
Yeah. That actor does a great job playing a douchebag because he's been around for 35
and he's always
years.
Been he's like that's his thing, right?
He's usually a douchebag.
He's kind of jerk, some authority figure who's got to bug up his ass kind of thing.
He's John Connor's stepdad in T2.
Oh my God!
He's calling.
Oh my God! Right.
He's calling the dog a piece of shit.
Yeah, you're right. Holy shit, that's funny. Gets the fucking.
I mean, if you look at his list of films, you know what I mean. He's like in every fucking thing for 35 years.
That's funny.
And he plays a douche really good, and that's why he's perfect for Gregory. But he needs to die very badly.
Yeah,
I'm on board with that.
Ding ding.
Give me the fucking bell.
So then, in the thing here, then Rick does the big counting thing. We talked about that pretty much. Then the full-on assault starts. They basically use all of their bullets. I think it was a lot of bullets.
A lot of bullets.
And they were shooting at the windows, right?
Who's making bullets?
Well, they did get all that.
They got one machine.
No,
and he's not even around. Eugene's not even around.
They went and got all the guns from that place, the guns and ammo
from the Lady Town.
From the Lady Town.
Lady Town.
Let's go down. Lady Town by the sea.
Because Negan didn't get that shipment.
Lady Town.
Yeah.
By the sea.
It's funky down in Lady Town.
I'll go there. There's a lot of ladies there.
But
yeah, so that's where all that stash came from.
It's true. It's true.
See, it helps to watch.
I'm just stalling for this thing to hit the post. Lady Town. All right, I'm done.
He's got to bring his fucking soundboard into it, or he's not fucking.
Well, Walking
happy.
Dead was in the '70s. That's your fucking intro music.
That's it. That's it. Right. That's the weekly intro music. Right?
Walking Dead.
It's all the time for the Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Walking Dead.
Oh God! Please don't make a remix and send it in. Because we would play it forever.
Wesley will do it.
All right, Wesley will do it. All right, so
we're not in Mixler today, right?
No. But he might listen to this. So the big death in that scene is obviously the RV.
Yeah. Want to play the music? Taps?
That I can play. That one's fine, right? I can play.
Here's to the RV, Dom. It's dead.
Yep.
It's a toast. People been fan theorying about that RV, that it's the same exact one from Breaking Bad. It may very well be. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Bye, Van.
Although I like when Negan takes it for a ride in the fog and he's killing fucking zombies.
He's just running them.
Oh, that was great. Yeah,
that's like out of a video game.
Laughing and fucking just running things over.
Blood all over the windshield.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But I was a little surprised that they blew it up too, because they put this big freaking front shell on it, like a condom, like a steel condom over the tip. And so you think they're going to just use it as a battering ram straight forward?
Right.
But they blow it the fuck up. And I'm guessing that, the idea is that maybe that front plating pushed out. Maybe they blew open a door with that, and now the beasts can get inside.
Right.
But I don't know. It was just a sad day for me.
Now, did you see the piece on AMC.com that shows you Negan how he gets... Mm-hmm. Did you see that piece?
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing, but it's a VR thing. So you can watch it. You can watch it, but it's, I guess, maybe the video's up online somewhere.
Yeah.
But if you have the thing where you slap your phone in or whatever.
They show you how Negan got from where he was at into the trailer.
It was pretty cool, because he's sitting there, he's by himself in a courtyard, basically, and the view is from inside.
A dumpster, wasn't he?
Well, the view is from inside a van, looking out. Well,
the thing was in between the vans from Rick's point of view, and he saw him in a blown apart dumpster.
Maybe there's two different parts. Maybe we saw two different parts then.
I didn't see the AMC thing online. I meant to check that out before.
Because the thing I was watching, by the part, it was just a clip from it, and by the end of it, all the zombies start now swarming the van, and they all start slapping on the windows and shit. And you can't really see what Negan's doing, so it might shift, or the point of view jumps out maybe, or something like that. But it was like that quick sequence where you just see Negan come from one side in the view through the glass, and he's like taking them out like one by one as he's trying to make his way across. But at the same time, they're coming up at you. I think is the thing, because it's supposed to be on the VR headset, so you see like that bent view where you get both sides of the windows in the van.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's supposed to like creep you out, I guess.
Now, did he get shot? He got shot in the leg or something because he was like limping.
He was, right? I wasn't sure. It wasn't 100% clear to me. I mean, it got a little silly with Rick trying to make those shots, and all of a sudden it's like, what are you even shooting at? Like, I couldn't even see.
Well, I watched it again.
Okay.
I watched it again, and actually I didn't see it because I said the same thing too. What are you shooting at if you can't get it?
Yeah.
But if you look at it, it looks to me like it's either a piece of steel broken apart,
right,
or a blown apart dumpster,
right, which is what I.
But you can see
like
him
his
trying to get out of there.
Okay, so
and
Rick,
he's trying to aim for the. You got to see
those pieces of them.
Because I watched it a second time.
Yeah, because it's not obvious. It's like okay, I'm not catching the
but
elbows or the feet that are sticking out or something. Like I don't know what he's trying to like. Why you look like you just shoot at the middle of it.
But he's hiding.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And Rick took a Polaroid of it.
Yeah, that's what I loved. I'm like, why did you come back and take the Polaroid? This is gonna play into something later. Like I think his plan.
Show, yeah.
Yeah, his plan is like to be like, I'm gonna have him tied up in a chair, and I'm gonna be like, look at what we did to you.
Right.
You're nothing.
Or it's more of like a play to say that your leader's a coward.
You know what? Maybe
at
Rick's
the end
just
of the
like
day,
you know what?
This is what you
Maybe Rick's just like maybe it's time to start documenting this and like and like keeping some keepsakes. And it's like what? I'm gonna start a scrapbook, a book of memories.
Like this is you without your men.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Stuff like that. Him and Carl down by the water fishing.
Right.
And then like a zombie horde.
And you take out that Polaroid. Remember this?
Remember that?
That's hysterical.
Maybe it's a surprise for Carl's birthday. Like, it's like, Carl, turns out I've been taking pictures this whole time. And he's got like all these Polaroids of like the last like 10 years, like,
All terrifying shit.
It's as bad as a segment on The Talking Dead. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, the music starts up, that crappy music. All right, so basically this whole thing's been a big stall kind of set up to push this zombie horde upon them. And it's there, and they're like, okay, we're done. Like back to base. Gabriel gets caught up in his priest-like guilt. He sees Gregory.
Fuck him.
He sees Gregory and is like, decides to help him, save him, whatever. And then
that's ridiculous.
And then like some bullshit of how they both have to get out of they can't get back to the car, and then Gregory gets to the car and then leaves Gabriel behind. Gabriel makes the dash. He ends up in a trailer, and then out of the darkness, here comes Negan. It's him and Negan stuck in a trailer that is getting slowly surrounded by zombies as the episode ends.
Well, I think that it's just more filler for Gregory to die horribly.
yeah, we're just putting off the inevitable.
Just another piece. But I also thought it was a cool hook to get Negan and Gabriel in the same spot, and I dig the fact that they're surrounded by zombies. They're on opposite ends. That's good plot points.
I bet you
to pull forward.
I wouldn't be surprised anyway if, because they're trapped in there together, as much as Negan, like we were saying before, like Negan's gonna probably like give him a hard time, give him the business to get info, that they're gonna have to work together to get out.
Yeah.
One way or the other, they're gonna have to like probably. I mean, sure, his boys
are still there, right?
They're all in the building, but the building's besieged on its own.
Right.
So, and he's outside. I don't think his men know exactly where he is. You know what I mean? So it's going to be presumptuous on their part. They're just going to have to wait for them maybe to thin that herd out before they actually come and get them.
Did Gabriel have one of the walkies on him?
I don't know. It's a good question.
That is a good question. I don't know
if he had one of the survivor side walkies. I shouldn't be eating snacks during the show.
It's all right.
It's always my rule number one.
But I feel as lieutenants will just machine gun those fuckers out of there.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, once it comes down to it, it won't take long. I don't see them being in there more than half of the next episode or something like that. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't feel Gabriel's going to die like you think he is, like the people want you to think.
Yeah.
I think that he may die in another episode or two. I think that he may get information out of him, exactly what he needs. Like I'm kind of starting to believe that Gabriel is going to tell Negan about Dwight.
Yeah, I wonder too if maybe we might get a scene with Gabriel and Eugene, and maybe Gabriel trying to talk Eugene into flipping back to the other side. Of
But I
helping.
think he's going to get Lucille in the same breath.
He might. I mean, you just never know with that guy, because that's a character too that people were like, "Oh, just kill this guy already!" Like, come on, like you've been stabbing people in the back or making bad decisions from Jump Street. You've been nothing, but on a show like this, you are a ticking time bomb of different types. Like,
or maybe
you can cause a problem, or you can, or just in general, like you just, you have all the characteristics of a character who should have died a long time ago.
Or maybe Eugene suffers from, this.
Now, what do you guys think about Eugene? Do you think he's going to come back to
I don't know.
Rick's side? I don't think so. I think he's
kind of locked over there. Where, like, especially according to the actor, like, it's like, no, like Eugene is at this point putting his faith in that side, his eggs in that basket at the very least.
Because we know he's kind of a slimy character from when we first meet him, and I feel like a lot of people have forgotten about this. That like
he's very
his whole bit was tricking Michael Cudlitz's character. I can't remember his name.
Abraham
and
Rufus.
Abraham, Abraham and Rosita into thinking that he was like some scientist. That could reverse the whole thing.
And I think it comes from this self-preservation thing. Like, he's just gonna do like kind of whatever it takes for him to survive in the moment. And so for him, it was like telling that lie to them. And for this, it's like, I am now standing in front of Negan. I will tell Negan whatever it takes for me to stay alive. You want me to work for you, sir? I will work for you. I will work diligently for you. And in order to stay alive,
and I buy that, actually.
Yeah, and I do, because they play him as this slightly Asperger kind of awkwardness. So
and they should just don't do the predictable thing by having him die in some heroic way, seeing the light. I think that they should just have him die as a fucking savior.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Still alive in the books too, by the way.
Yeah. Well, it's probably going to carry over.
Yeah, it probably will. Spoilers, but they don't have like a guy who knows things. Like, who's got handies. Like, even though, like, if I did know him, I don't know if I would trust half of his things. I'd be like, I feel like I'm talking to like the smartest Muppet.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know if I'm really talking to the smartest dude.
But Negan likes somebody that's smart, and it's all about him. Because at the end of the day...
blind allegiance in a way.
Right.
It's like,
Negan's all about himself and all about who's going to do for me.
And keeping the status quo.
Right.
And all that good shit. All right, so... I don't know, that kind of like wraps up the high points I have on the list for the episode.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with this episode. It like really, it moves along really smoothly, so it kind of goes very quickly.
And the dialoguing is sparse, so like you get to see characters, but for some of them it's all about today. It's all about this mission, so there's not a lot of development. Like, we see Carol, and she's hanging out with Tara, so we get some time with them, but it's not like any of the big Carol storyline stuff. It's not any of the Morgan storyline stuff. It's not
Morgan.
It's Morgan.
They kept the episode for the most part.
It was more like Bill the Butcher, by the way, just now.
That was a very good Bill the Butcher.
Bill the Butcher?
I guess accidentally. I do accidental impressions.
Morgan. Now I take the son. Morgan.
Now I need a line. I feel like I could drop it right now, but I got no line.
Bill the Butcher.
What's the
Daniel Plainview. I'm an oil man, you see.
Yeah. What's the
I drink your milkshake.
milkshakes?
If I had a really long straw.
All right, now you're Jim Carrey the Grinch. Jim Carrey.
You said that to me last time. I turned into the Grinch. Sounds like the Grinch.
We're talking about
He
the
does sound like the
We're talking
Grinch.
about
From Alexandria to the hilltop.
We're talking about The Walking Dead here, guys.
Fair enough. We're mixing up our properties.
Across the room.
Who plays bowling, like, in the basement? I don't know. Anyway.
Daniel Plainview.
Daniel Plainview.
But
I have no idea where we were going now.
I was
just kind of wrapping up the main.
Yeah.
Well,
I was about
overview.
to say that for the most part, it was a straightforward episode. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, of course, with the bookends and in the middle with they keep going.
It's like, just kind of establishing where we are. It did kind of feel like weird a little bit that it was like it ended with like, okay, we dropped up to zombies, we're done. It was almost like a season finale kind of a feel where it was like, okay, we did something good. Like it's so rare to see them do anything good. But it felt out of place.
Right.
That's a good point.
Like that's like an end of the season kind of thing.
No, they succeeded in what exactly they were going to do. And I think that's what a lot of viewers needed after last season.
Yeah, a nice hopeful coming out that we're at war now, and so when they rally up and return back,
right?
I don't know if Rick and the kids have another plan, but they fucking better because it's not sooner or later they're gonna rally up.
Yeah,
and we are. I know they don't know that the season is called All Out War, right? But it is.
It is All Out War.
They definitely never know that.
They know it's that. Any other predictions? I guess maybe for the season, people should we start a death pool? We want to try the Walking Dead pool again, but there's only 3 of us.
I'll do a death pool.
All right. So now here's the plan for these episodes because we are going to do more of these. The loose plan on these is for us to do another one either before or after the mid-season break, probably after, so we have the reaction of all that of everything. And then another one either before or after the finale. Right. And possibly both, depending on how crazy it gets.
It might be both, depending on how good the season is. Because we might want to do a build-up episode.
Exactly. So you might be looking at like 4 more of these specials.
Okay.
3 or 4 more of these specials. But what we'll do...
Now, as far as the
We're
Deadpool,
like a BBC show, basically.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about the Deadpool. We could figure this out off mic, maybe, and then have it as a thing to talk about when we come back.
I was just
at the
going
mid-season
to
point,
suggest that.
but we kind of maybe pick and work it out tonight as soon as we get done. Rather than sit here for maybe like a half an hour and try to figure it out on mic.
I was going to say going to give 3 predictions.
All right. Well,
for the beginning to mid-season
of deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we all need
is Gregory like
time to
is Gregory
create
like,
a list?
Is Gregory like the star on the bingo board where like everybody gets that marker?
From the beginning to the mid-season, him definitely.
Yeah, I know, right? I think I just helped put him on everybody's
It's a matter
list.
of time, and I'm going to probably throw in the 2 we mentioned.
Okay.
But I think that a major one is going to go too.
If I put a Walker on the list, does that count?
No, unless it's a specific, unless you want to say somebody turns into a walker. Maybe.
Nah.
Like that's the thing. Like, I know how sometimes someone gets dead, left behind, or locked in a room, and it's like, oh, we came back. There's Cindy. Cindy don't feel good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that a major character needs to go
Before the mid-season finale?
because they like doing that now. You know what I mean?
Who do you think it's going to be?
I have. I'm gonna say
Carol?
It's gonna either be Carol.
Whoa.
Which would be a big one.
Who's fucking left, man? Like,
Well, that's what I mean.
It's
For the
like,
original team,
we know
that's,
Daryl's not going anywhere.
it's like the quad, I call it, where it's Rick, Carl, Michonne, and Daryl. I feel like they're the safest characters for sure.
Yeah. Wait. Yes, absolutely.
Rick and father and son,
Right.
the new girlfriend,
Right.
and America's sweetheart, Daryl Dixon.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like we
absolutely
can't,
correct.
we can't kill him until like we could kill Rick before we can kill fucking Daryl.
Right.
It's the way it seems sometimes. But besides, the show owns him.
I'm thinking maybe Carol or Rosita.
Yeah,
Oh, Rosita. I forgot about her. Yeah.
It's a second tier group. I think Tara too is kind of like one of those ones where like she's beloved, but she's expendable-ish. You know what I mean?
She's not given enough to do on the show.
Well, that's the thing too. And also last season, I don't know, were both of them pregnant last year?
Yeah.
And that's why we got like hardly any of them, right?
Well, Rosita we got a lot of last season.
Okay.
She stepped up to Negan too at one point.
Right, yeah, that's true. That's true.
The whole
That's true.
Sasha Bond.
Tara's storyline, I think, got minimized because
That's
she was
the
pregnant.
one.
Because she was
wasn't-
pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, because you could see her putting on the baby weight too during the show. It was a thing where it was like, oh, sweatshirts in Atlanta in the summer. Right. Okay. I get it.
Now, as far as Negan's lieutenants, what the one guy,
Simon.
I think they're going to keep him. He's too strong of an actor.
Yeah, he's too good.
He's too good to keep.
He's too much fun.
But I don't think Dwight's going anywhere yet. I
Yeah.
think they're going to save him for the second.
He shouldn't die this season, I don't think.
Yeah. Like
Knowing where the story goes.
There is the one guy though, the other guy that does the pickups from the Kingdom. He's got the long-haired asshole with him all the time, always starting shit.
Oh yeah. But that's the only
Gavin,
thing.
maybe?
Gavin, I think so. But that's the thing. Like, the characters over on that side doesn't run that deep. Like, guys you could tell by name. Like, it's like
the GTA guy.
yeah, it's like Steve. It's Simon.
Yeah.
The bitch, the skinny punk bitch.
Yeah, there's her. You know, they've given her a couple of lines. She's like a person. I don't know her name. I'm still waiting because now Dwight's girl just disappeared, right? She slipped out in the night. I still think she's going to pop up one day.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Because I don't remember if she pops up in the comic or not. But I got a feeling like she'll pop up as a problem maybe one day or something.
Well, I remember in the comic it's a big thing like they did in the show when he was on the fence about whether or not he was going to betray Negan.
Right.
But I don't remember if she pops up again after that.
Yeah.
I forgot what happened.
That might just be wishful thinking.
Yeah.
You know, it might have been a thing where he's like, no, I want it to be like, you know, the Russians in the woods and Sopranos, where it's like people just keep asking about it. Yeah. I think for me, it's like, I feel like the problem on Negan's side is definitely like he's got a small list, and like when you take out one, if you don't take out like none of them matter. Like it's like Negan, Simon, and anybody else is expendable. Like you know what I mean? Like those are the two that like.
Well, you have Dwight. You have Gavin,
I kind of Dwight's like I kind
and
of
Eugene.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So
And the girl. And I don't think the girl will go anywhere because we just got to see her.
Yeah.
So maybe she's going to be...
maybe they'll build her up a little bit.
build her up this season.
So I can't really call anybody from that side, but I'll say if I got to pick three from the Survivor side, I don't know. I got to think about it off air. I think I'm going to dwell on it too long.
Okay.
We'll have to have a bullshit session.
We probably will.
Yeah,
after this.
because I don't think you can pull anything out, right?
No.
All right. So, and even his might change too. Who are you? Jay's might change too. So who knows? But so listen for our next one to catch up on that and see where we go with that because we'll start it off with that.
I'm just going to say one last thing before. I really dig this show. I always have.
Sure.
I did read the books before the show came out. And then I was reading them as the show was going on. But I think that a lot of people will probably enjoy it more. I'm talking to the certain people that are pro book and won't break out of that mold.
Yeah, I doubt they're listening.
You know, because they watch the show too, but they're watching the show because they love that book and they want to see it.
Yeah.
But you need to start separating the two because if you're just going to drive yourself fucking nuts. Because I'm going to speak for myself. When I first heard it, I was pissed. I was saying, you can't do this show on AMC. But for what it's worth, I'm a big horror fan. I'm a big zombie fan. And I'm getting a zombie show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, I got to leave the source material at home and just focus on this.
Yeah.
And you'll have a good time. Some episodes are better than others. Yeah. But judging by this episode going forth, I think we're in some good territory. That's just my opinion.
And it makes me want to repeat what I was saying to you earlier when we were talking about this topic. Is that like it's one of those shows it seems to me like looking back on it, the reason I don't have the problem that other people do is for like the opposite reason that they have the problem. Like for me, it's like it's close enough that this is the way I want it.
Yeah, of course.
Like I don't agree with every change.
Yeah, right? I think it's a perfect.
It's like 70 to 90% on varying episodes. How close it is to the book,
right? And
that's kind of what I want. So I know that other percentage, I'm not going to agree with every change, but I didn't want something that was completely different outright.
Right.
You know?
Well, there's a lot of what I'm saying is because I see a lot of
that they want the actual literal.
There's
thing.
A lot of percentage of that though that I see online. You know what I mean? That because I'll like check in on
the hashtags and stuff like that
and whatnot. And there's a lot of people
posts on sites and stuff. Yeah.
You know that
guys.
like I wish there's one comment that I wish never to read again ever. Remember, Daryl was not in the comics.
Yeah.
The next person that says that should die of fucking cancer tonight.
Well, you know what, though? I say, it's like, remember, I would say the opposite. I say, you know what? You should remember that. Because the comics are different. And that should be the thing that, at the same point, that's the reminder that's what the difference is.
Yeah, but people, to this day, just somebody writing it now. You know what I mean? It's like, come on now.
Yeah, and that's the same kind of guy who's like, can't watch fucking Lord of the Rings,
Yeah,
or
right,
like,
exactly.
if you think you're not that same character that you probably
Right.
goof on for that love,
Right.
like you goof on some guy because like, hey, Game of Thrones is amazing, you won't watch it because you love the books too much. Well,
Right.
guess what? You're a similar knucklehead then.
Right.
They're everywhere.
I'm saying there's just a lot of, again, with the negativity of,
Yeah,
and
but
whatnot.
we swim in that, and it also too, it
Yeah.
feels like negativity is also one of those things where like it sticks in your craw, like, you know what I mean? Like when you hear it from things or about things, it's not like when you hear like positivity. Positivity glazes right over. Like, when somebody says something that's like, them shitting on a thing, and they're not even making a good point,
Right.
that sells you. Like
Right.
if you don't come away with someone shitting on a thing, and you're like, no, wow, yeah, I agree, that is kind of shitty, then you just think that they're an asshole.
Right.
And it kind of sits in your craw like, what's your fucking problem?
Right. Like the only thing I agree with you and even Ed, because when
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about it, was I think that sometimes the show suffers from some structure issues as far as characters
Yeah.
and where they're placing them in episodes. Sometimes you'll
Yeah.
want to have Rick for 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's half your season.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, you know what I mean? They do this kind
or
of-
a quarter
yeah.
of your season.
They did that where they kind of focus on one character per episode.
I think they need to work on that a
yeah.
little bit more. But then again, there's times where, like, I loved when the Morgan story
Yeah.
was phenomenal. So I guess if you
Yeah.
have a really good writer and a really good
It's
director
execution and
backing
stuff
you up,
too. Like, and that's all. And it's all subjective too, because you know what? Like, I always like the idea of the solo episode, the solo spotlight flashbacky episode thing.
Me too.
Like the thing with Morgan, but like sometimes I don't like it in execution because like the Morgan one, I'm not a big fan of it because I'm not a big fan of Morgan. Like
yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like it's subjective in that way. Like but
Yeah.
but I'll never give them crap for doing that kind of an episode.
right?
Because I feel like shows that are like middling would do better with that. I feel like don't even. We're almost done. Don't even touch it. Shows like The Shield and stuff like that don't do anything interesting
Right.
with their storytelling.
Right.
Could at least do that kind of thing once in a while.
Right.
So all right, folks, we're gonna wrap it up. If you like this and you want to hear us do it again, guess what? We're gonna. But in the meantime, you can send us an email to podcast@wickedtheory.com. Listen to us every week on Saturdays on Mixlr Live, mixlr.com/wicked-theory. And then, check out episodes. We post them up on Monday of our regular shows. We do all kinds of goofy shit and entertainment, pop culture stuff.
We do.
We do.
Even if they want to email us about Walking Dead,
Well, that's what
we'll
I'm saying.
read them on the show.
Yeah, well, we will to a degree. But, if it's like Walking Dead specific to this, we'll save it for this. So whichever way, it'll be obvious. If you want to follow us or check us out on the Twitters, you can check out me. I'm at Wicked Theory on the Twitter. Jay,
What?
your Twitter handle?
I don't remember.
Good. Dom?
At Dom_Tory. It's TORRE.
Nice.
Uncle Jay at Jason Chickalese on the Twitters.
What does he want? What do you want? He wanted to be the last one?
He's got like an email address for a Twitter name.
It's like 65 letters?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the
I might be
count?
changing it.
Uncle
Actually.
J
Oh,
at
jeez.
Uncle J at Jason Chickalese.
I might be changing.
It's just at Jason Chickalese.
Now it's going to be...
For the record.
Now it's going to be just Uncle?
I don't know yet. I have to. I'm switching it for reasons to be
you
explained later.
Are you taking requests?
Huh?
Are you taking requests?
Yeah.
Okay. Send them to podcast at
Yeah.
wickedtheory.com.
What should my new Twitter handle should be?
Oh, boy.
Fuck your mother.
Whoa.
Uncle Jay.
Whoa. That's fucking crazy talk. All right, so we'll be back in a couple months with this, but remember, like we said, we're around every week. New episodes drop Monday, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music.
Carl.
And then we record it live because we're cool like that on Saturdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for listening. And we're done. Anybody else? Any last thing?
Go fuck yourself.
Wow, that's Dom's favorite. That's Dom's favorite
Fuck
send-off.
you.
That's like that.
That's why Dom and I get along so
And,
well.
and unlike them, I will actually say thank you for listening.
Put it on my fucking tombstone.
If I could, if your family wouldn't give me a hard time, I would. I
Go
would.
fuck
I would.
yourself.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.